Hello everyone, wonderful to see you all here in our Healers Network public group. So let me invite our special guest today, Dr. Makeba Morgan Hill, the Queen of Reiki. She's going to talk about love and light. Let me send the invitation for her. Okay, Lisa, Sylvia, Jeremy, Pia. Okay, let's see who's watching there. Write live or replay, hashtag live or hashtag replay to see where you are talking from, where you are already watching this wonderful live. Let me see who's already here. Okay. I wonder if Dr. Makeba is already here with us. Let me check here. Hi, Cherise. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Wonderful to see you. Oh, let me tell you that there are amazing beings that so talented, and like Cherise, and I'm so blessed to work with amazing souls that have an amazing talent. And for instance, Cherise, she healed herself from very serious illnesses, and now she's helping others how to do that. Hey, Makeba! Oh, wonderful! Makeba, I'm waiting for you to join here. Please send me a request to join this live. Let's see if it's working here. Okay, I did you here. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, I'm brought to you on camera, Makeba. I'm waiting for you. It says adding. Hi, Makeba. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Yes,
Can you
of
hear
course.
me? I can't hear you. Okay.
I can hear you wonderful. Can you hear me okay?
Say something.
Put your earphones, please. Okay?
Say something now for
Okay.
me.
Okay, I'm hearing you better. Okay? It's fine? That's fine now?
Okay. I hear you.
And
Very
I
good.
feel your love and light here.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. There's a song that says, llegó la fiesta, llegó el bombón, de chocolate, es el sabor. Oh, nice to see you, Makeba. Good to see you here, and welcome here to this beautiful live that we are going to share with all the amazing souls watching it live or replay. So please tell us who you are and your amazing story in a short, in a few words, please, so that everyone knows who is Dr. Makeba Morgan Hill.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Fernando, for inviting me to join you here today live. I am Dr. Makeba, and I am all for love. So, Dr. Makeba for Love is my tag name. I am a Reiki queen, I like to say, and I'm also a child of the Most High, as all of us are. And I am here to talk to you about my journey a little bit, how I got to where I am, and about some of my upcoming projects. And I'm excited to get started.
Wonderful. And for how long have you been serving others with your gift as a Reiki healer?
That's a good question because it really is fairly new, I would say. It's been less than a year. I first started doing Reiki, or first learned Reiki and how to do it for myself back at the end of January. And very shortly after that, I started hearing very clearly from my spirit guides and guardian angel and God, and got very, very clear messages about what my path forward was. And so one of those things that they shared with me was that I would be opening a healing hand center in July of this year, and that I would be spreading love and light to mankind. And every time I say that story, I'm like, that just it's crazy. It just sounds wild, because when I got those messages the first time, it had only been about a week since I actually learned how to do Reiki. And so since then, um, I opened my Healing Hand Center. July 31st was my grand opening, and my gift has grown, and my center is small but mighty. So I'm definitely grateful for the clarity of my path, and that's one of the things that I help people do to get clarity
Oh,
themselves.
wonderful. And according to your amazing experience, how would you define love?
Love. Mm. So when I think about love, I think about all the many forms that it comes in. So, there's self love, there's romantic love, there's godly love, there's familial love, there's love of people you really don't like. So, in my mind, and what I teach, and what I hear, and what I understand, and what I know to be true, is that God is love. And so he created us all out of love. And that's the goal, is to get back to love. Love doesn't judge. I feel like the Bible, and I'm not I read the Bible periodically, but the Bible, I think, has some really nice passages about what love is and what love is not. Love is patient, love is kind, and all of those things. And so that's really my focus, is on finding that love for yourself. Because once you find that love for yourself, and you realize that you're a perfect being made in the image and likeness of the Creator, then you are more open to receive love from other people, and more able to give love
Mhm.
yourself.
Yes, it's so easy to speak about love, and for many of us, of course, it includes myself. Uh, how do we put in practice love for those people who are nearby and we don't like?
That's a perfect question, Fernando. I am actually very recently divorced. Was divorced. My divorce was final on September 29th. And I was married for 18 years to someone that I care about still. He's a friend, he's a fellow human, so I love him. But it was hard. It was hard. And the hard part was being in a marriage where I didn't fully feel loved. And then coming to the realization that that was because he didn't fully love himself. So he couldn't love me the way that I needed to be loved. And I shrunk myself a little bit, thinking, well, maybe I'm asking for too much. But then when I chose my own heart, my own worth, and said, you know what, I'm just going to take a chance here. I'm going to end this marriage, because I know that this is not it. This is not the love that I need. And at that point, I realized that I loved myself enough that even if I took that leap of faith to find some other love, that I would be just fine on my own, because I loved me, who I was. I wasn't going to apologize for being sensitive. I wasn't going to apologize for needing affection. I wasn't going to apologize for wanting a partner that I could laugh with and chat with and all of that. So, in choosing me, I feel like, and I know for a fact, that I opened the floodgates of love for me. And so, it's been a great year since I asked for that divorce, since I chose myself. So many things have happened in my life, like this, the spirituality, the connection with you and all of these other healers, the connection with my inner gifts, just my ability to tap into other people and feel what they're feeling so that I can help them with their path forward. And so, you know, my husband, he's still ex-husband, he's still around. And because he's a human being, I love him. I do. I don't want to hang out with him a whole lot just because we don't really have that much in common other than our child, which is a big deal. But she's grown. And so I could have a relationship with her and he can have his own relationship with her. And so that, I think, is an example of recognizing that, I don't hate him at all. He's on his path, I'm on mine. I wish him well. I love him because I want him to be well. But I know that it's not my job to make him see the light, you know? And so that's the other part of it, is the light, like tapping into the light that's in you. And, once you do that, so many things are attracted to you, like the positive things come to you when you start emitting that light. And there are many things that can come into play that dim your light. So like a bad relationship, for example, you try to deal with it because maybe you feel like you chose this life, so you promised to stick it out for better or for worse. But I know for a fact that God does not want us to suffer. He doesn't. He wants us to learn from our mistakes. He wants us to recognize our needs and go for them. He doesn't want us to hurt people. So if we're in a bad relationship and it doesn't feel good, or it just isn't sitting well with your soul, have a conversation with your partner. Don't just go out and start cheating and doing your own thing, but have a heart to heart. Tell them what's going on. And if you decide to part ways, you part ways. But I think that comes with recognizing your own self-worth and seeing the light that's in you, and just knowing that God's got you. If you're living well, if you're, not being malicious with it, but that you're really truly loving yourself in the way that God loves you, that good things come your way. God knows our hearts, right? He knows our hearts. And so we won't be punished, I don't think, for making a decision to be kind to ourselves and being kind to our fellow man. And I think the kindest thing I could have done for my husband was let him go, because I wasn't feeling the love and he wasn't feeling the love. And we could have gone on and on and on for 18 more years feeling that way because we felt like we had to. But I know that was not what we were destined to do.
Oh, that's very beautiful what you shared. I appreciate very much your openness, Makeba. And let me tell you that many people watching this live or replay now or in the future, in different ways, they have been facing similar situations, right? And because we want to offer something that we don't practice for ourselves, something very simple. Okay, you others, how do you do that? How do you do that with yourself, right? As simple as that.
Right. 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 Exactly. And as healers, we're often the ones helping other people, and we don't always recognize the need to take care of ourselves. People tell us to protect ourselves and all of that, which is great and easier said than done sometimes. And so we have to put our teachings into practice. And so like yesterday, for example, I went to have a holistic healing session myself. And that's where lots of things were revealed to me that I know, but it always feels better to have someone else there to help you offload some of that stuff, to offload some of the heaviness in that heart chakra. You're like, I know it's heavy. I know I need to deal with it, get some sound healing or some Reiki or whatever. But when someone else shares their energy with you, their love, their compassion, it makes a big difference. And we need to take care of ourselves. That self-care is so important.
Yes. It's very frequent in healers and coaches and therapists that we used to take care of others. And when do we take care of ourselves? Simple as that, right? So what you did is
Right.
a really good example. And Cherise shared something very important here. Hi, Joey. Nice to see you here. That what you did already with your ex-husband is that your attitude will open the door to his own awakening. So I totally agree with that, Cherise. It's very beautiful what you said. And now that we talk about what is love, what do you say is the power of thinking?
Oh, yes. The power of thinking. So, just recently read through some chapters in a book called The Three Waves of Volunteers by Dolores Cannon. It's a good book, and I'm pretty sure a lot of healers have read it. But it talks about the origins of Earth and the beings and the aliens and all this stuff, and it's really cool. It sounds very sci-fi, but there is a lot of science truth in there, right? But one of the things it talks about is how beings of higher intelligence don't even communicate with words. They communicate telepathically. And so it had me thinking a whole lot about our own thoughts and the law of attraction, the power of positive thinking, all of that stuff. Because truly, when we think things, a lot of times they come true. And I have a book chapter that's coming up soon. There are two books that I have chapters in. One is the energy medicine solution that's coming out November 14th. And that one I talk about Reiki, healing, self-love and self-care. But the other the other book is called Love Warriors, and that's coming out a little bit down the line. And in that book, the chapter is called You're Magnetic. And it's about using Reiki to help get the things that you need in your life. But a big theme in that chapter is about the law of attraction and the power of positive thinking and how we're in control of some of that stuff. And I use an example in the chapter of how we sabotage ourselves sometimes. Like if we're thinking in our heads, oh, there's no way I could stick to this diet. There's no way, this diet is so strict and it's so bad. 9 times out of 10, you're going to go and grab that donut. And that's because you're telling yourself that you can't do it, you know? So we have to reshape our thoughts because our thoughts have lots of power. And so if you say in your head, I've been doing really well with this diet. I'm going to, keep up the good work because I know this is good for my health. I'm going to make healthy choices. It changes your actions. You're more likely to grab the salad or the vegetables than the donut if you're telling yourself that you're doing this for your health and you're being good and all that stuff. So I that's to be quicker with it. Basically, your mind, that when we talk about manifestation and stuff like that, that's all related. If you think it, if you write it down on a sheet of paper, if you speak it, it comes true. So we have to be about it. We have to be
Yes,
very
we have to
positive
be
about
very
it.
aware of our thoughts. And this leads us to the following question, which is our mission. Many people are already they have a notion or very clear what their mission is about, but they are scared of the steps they are taking, and they're not truly confident about if the next steps are going to lead to that mission. So what should we do if we don't have clarity in our mission?
So my suggestion to most people is to pray, meditate, and be still and quiet and listen for the voice of God, the higher power, the creator source, and to have faith, to continue to work hard, and to be patient. And those things are easier said than done. But when I say them enough, I think that that helps me personally be clear about what it is that I need to do. And it removes some fear, because fear is powerful. And like we said, thoughts are powerful too. So if you have a mindset of fear and you're working in the same paradigm of, for me, it was, I have this corporate job that I love very much. And I've always had a corporate job. So I've always been, receiving money from a, a boss or a job, But now in my business as an entrepreneur, it's on me. And, it's not, for me, it's not about the money necessarily. The fear is, am I going to be able to keep track of all these expenses and make sure that I got my taxes right for next year? Like, am I going to, at some point, be able to hire people to help me? Is the business going to grow? And I know, because God tells me so, my guardian angel tells me so, like all of my guides tell me, it will come. You have what you need. Be patient, have faith. And so the key there is to listen, to be obedient, to breathe, and just know and trust your instincts and your gut. Now, have clarity about your path, you might want to talk to somebody, like for now, or like someone like me, because we can help you think outside of the box, right? We can help you to prepare your mind and your body to receive, because sometimes people don't really know how to meditate. And we say meditate like it's breathing, going, it's easy. And it can be when you do it and practice it a lot, but if you haven't done it before, it can be a challenge. And so it can help you help yourself.
Yes, and talking about helping ourselves, would you like to talk about your amazing podcast, and then your the chapter in your book, and then your offer, please? Let's start with the podcast, please.
Sure. Okay, well, so I'm launching a podcast called Happy Hour with Dr. Makeba and Friends. And the original concept was that, I have friends in the spirit world, but I also have friends outside, and lots of people who are very spiritually connected and who've had experiences that I think are worth sharing. And so we'll be getting together periodically and putting out our podcast weekly, and it'll be conversations. The first conversation that we had was about just kind of being a spiritual being in this world. And so I had a couple of folks that joined me in the conversation, and it was great. It's kind of therapeutic for spiritual people to have these conversations with other like-minded individuals. And the second recording, we were talking again about this book, The Three Waves of Volunteers. And there were 6 of us chatting about things that we got from the book. And I said this during the podcast, that I'm not getting a commission or anything off of this book. But for me, it definitely triggered some thoughts in my head about where we came from, like before, and what, we were put here to do, and shed some different kinds of light. And so in that conversation, there were other people who experienced the same things. Like one of the young ladies said that as she was reading the book, she would doze off. And she thought, well, maybe it's because I'm sleepy. But when she dozed off, she received all of these downloads, information from her time before Earth. So recommend it. If you
Oh,
haven't read The Three Ways to Volunteer, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty powerful book. And if nothing else, read chapter 1 and 2, and I think you'll find it to be very interesting. And so there will be different topics. Like I was talking to my producer for the podcast about future topics today, and one of them I think is going to be instincts and knowing when to listen to them, knowing when to heed them, because oftentimes, we maybe not the people that are listening here because we're more in tune to it, but we hear things, we feel things, we sense things in our gut, and we doubt them until we have physical evidence or proof. But we have to recognize that as spiritual beings, sometimes all the proof that we need is that intuition, those instincts. And so we have to learn how to trust them. So I want to have some folks on the podcast to talk a little bit about their experiences with heeding the instincts and with not heeding the instincts, just to see kind of the things there. Yeah. And then the other topic that we talked about is sexuality and fluidity, and how as human beings we have been subjected to the boxing in of categories of, in the same way we've been boxed into categories of race, when it really shouldn't be that way. Like, we are humans.
yes.
We're the human race. You know, in terms of sexuality, it's not about I'm straight, I'm gay. It's fluid, and it doesn't matter. Love who you love. Like, we are loving human beings, and it's manifested in different ways. So we want to have a conversation about that as well, and more to come. And I'm open to other topics and folks, like, wanting to know. I want to know what people are interested in hearing about, because I'm ready to
Oh,
chat about it.
wonderful. So you are inviting anyone who is watching this live or replay here in the PhD Healers Network group to be part of your podcast as well, right?
Yes, yes. And so there's a Facebook group called Happy Hour with Dr. Makeba and Friends podcast. And so you are more than welcome to join that group as I continue to develop the podcast, because I'm looking for ideas and guests. So, definitely
Wonderful.
reach out.
Do you mind? Then we can already copy and paste that link of that group here below in the comments, okay?
Yeah, yes. So you want me to link it into the comments here, or when the
If you
replay
want
is
it here
ready?
now, that's fine.
Okay, you're testing my technical abilities. So let
Okay,
me
if you're able, okay. Otherwise, you can share it afterwards, okay? Don't worry.
okay, and share it. I'll share the raw video that we did this week on the book, so people can look at it and provide some comments
Oh,
and
wonderful.
join
Yes,
there.
who would you like to share your most important lesson about the chapter of the book you wrote, please?
Sure. So the energy medicine solution chapter and in the love warriors chapter, they're both very similar in that the message is that we have to love ourselves. And when we do that, we attract um, positivity in our lives and goodness, and light
Mm.
attracts light, right? And so in both chapters, I offer a couple of self-care Reiki activities that you can do, some mirror work, and meditation suggestions and things like that to address the heart chakra, the crown chakra, and the sacral. I think in both of them. And so I recommend reading it and just seeing how it resonates as a healer. Um, the other thing I would add is that the book producer that I work with works on, she develops lots of collaborative book projects, and she's always looking for authors to participate. And so I will share that information with you as well, because if you're interested in writing, you could perhaps join one of her next collaborative book projects.
Wonderful. You remind me of the following. One of my recent posts is about how to write a book. And one of the books that is already here is was written by me and with other collaborators. And it is very simple, the process. I don't say easy, but it's simple. And you know what happened? That I'm helping an outstanding healer that she has written many things about this, and I gave her only one session. And yesterday, the last night, she gave me a message and say, I have 7,554 pages already written. Now I have to reorganize, and soon she will have her own book already available in the market. So I'm very happy to know that many amazing healers like you and like that person is already going to spread the word, right?
Yes. Yeah. We need to get more of our energy out there in many different
Yeah.
forms. I work with a lot of people who write beautiful healing music, and I can like feel the power of the source, the energy, the light, and all of that in the work that they do. So I really feel like the light is coming back to this earth through art as well
Yes.
as science and love,
Oh,
humanity, and
that's
all
so
of that.
beautiful. Thank you very much for sharing. And finally, would you like to share? You said you have already an offer, so this space is yours.
Ah, sure, sure. So I love sharing my healing energy. I know that everybody has kind of a different gift that they share, and I would love to offer one of my 30-minute Reiki and a reading sessions as an introduction so we can meet. I can talk to you. I can help align your chakras if you need it. As we talked about a little bit earlier, it's really helpful sometimes to have an external healer work with you to help work through some things. And so I'm offering my 30-minute Reiki and a reading session for 50% off. And so the regular price is $111. And if you reach out to me through the group, I will give you
Oh,
the
wonderful.
discount.
Until when?
Until Sunday, this
Oh,
Sunday.
just 3 days. Oh,
And
you have to hurry up.
I know it's Sunday. We talked about it, Fernando. I need to look at the calendar. Or is it next Sunday? Remind me.
This Sunday,
It
Sunday
is
the
this
6th.
Sunday, or what we said.
Sunday the
Yes,
6th.
yes, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, if anyone is interested in being part of this, not Reiki session, but a movement Dr. Makeba is already creating, reach out to her and you can send
Yes.
her a message. Would you like to share your contact information here in the comments? You have already that information to share here, please.
Okay. I will
Okay,
put
so anyone who is
um
interested will reach out to you and that person can have a conversation with you. They can also send you a direct message, right?
yes, that would be great. So I put my email address in there so people can
Oh,
reach out to me
wonderful,
that way.
wonderful. Wonderful, Makiba. Do you have a final message for anyone who is already like you 1 year ago and she's in a job and she's thinking about how to start a new movement or a new healing journey and is not sure about what decision to take about? So what's your advice for those people who are like you 1 year ago, please?
Yeah. So my advice is number one, choose you. To look within and realize how beautiful and special you are, and know that you were put on this earth for a purpose. And if you don't feel in your gut that you're living in your purpose, you're probably not. So trust your instincts. Reach out to fellow healers because we can help. So build a tribe of people that you trust and pray meditate, sit in stillness to get clarity, and ask God to show you the light. And remember, the light is in you.
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you very much for sharing this. And I am feeling the need to do a meditation. Would you like to do the meditation? Would you like to, for both of us to do this?
I would love for you to go ahead and lead it, Fernando.
Okay. Because this is especially aligned with your last message. Choose you. So let's
Yes.
close our eyes. Let's connect with a moment in our life when we felt really happy because of a decision that we took for ourselves. Then let's move to another moment in our life where we felt really proud of ourselves because we took a decision for ourselves. And finally, let's move to another moment in our life where we got a very important result, a very important outcome, because we put ourselves in first place. And finally, feel the love of Mother Earth that is supporting you since you were born until you leave your body on this earth. Mother Earth always loves us. From her love, we feed our own love. Now, with this beautiful energy we have so far, little by little, we can come back.
The light in me sees the light in you. I love you.
Namaste, Makeba. So beautiful. So beautiful.
Namaste.
Thank you for sharing.
Namaste. Thank you for
See you
having
all
me.
in the next live. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye bye, everyone.
All right. Take care.